we're in here with some of our boys that we don't normally see so much. So this black boy right here is Alaska. This is Comet. Comet was the first animal that was ever born on our farm, and this is Ford. The interesting thing about Ford is that his mama Pearl did have a uterine torsion, meaning that her uterus twisted right before she was going to give birth. We knew that this was a critical situation. We actually were able to roll her, meaning we literally flipped her over, put her in the back of our transit van, and we're on our way to the university. Berkeley and I were in the back, Dawn and Tucker were in the front, and we're about halfway there, and Berkeley and I are like, there's a baby. So this is Ford, whose name is Born in a Ford, because he was truly born in a Ford. The reason I wanted to come out here this morning is I kind of want to just talk about fiber animals. So alpacas in general are just fiber animals. That's how come we produce them. It is for their fleece. Okay, that's what they're known for. We harvest their fleece once a year in shearing. We make all sorts of products from that. They are fiber animals. We talked a little bit about their fiber yesterday, so you can go back and look at that if you're interested. But when people say that they just want a fiber animal, I think that that's like an interesting thing to say. That means that you actually want the best quality animal that you can get. And so, because you want your fiber to be of the best quality that it can be in some ways. But honestly, in some ways, the fiber that you want is also the fiber that's most usable in products. And a lot of time, the fiber that's most usable in products is actually not the most finest fleece that you can find. Sometimes it's of a fleece that is of moderate quality, okay? And that's because it just sometimes holds together a little bit better. It has other characteristics. I am not a fiber person, but sometimes it has better characteristics that make it hold together a little bit better or make it more desirable for being the workhorse of the yarn that is produced by these animals. So with that being said, a fiber animal isn't always the top quality animal, but it's still a good animal. And then there's pet quality. So the reason that I'm out here is because I think that a lot of times the designation between a pet animal, a fiber animal, and a show animal is kind of lost, and really in some ways there should be no distinction, right? Really the reason that we're buying these animals and have these animals is for fiber production. Now, a pet quality animal means that the animal most likely is past its prime and isn't producing super quality fleece, but does not mean that it's not a good animal to have around to just enjoy their company. So we do have fiber quality animals, we have pet quality animals, especially here in the males. And then Genevieve is a prime example. So Genevieve, as we remember, is our hermaphrodite. So she will not be a breeding animal. So that would mean that for sure she would be a fiber animal. She is not pet quality in terms of the fact that her fiber is very, very, very nice. But she's pet quality in the fact that she will never, ever be able to have a baby. So it's a little confusing. These are not necessarily standardized terms that are used across the industry in terms of recognition by the AOA, but there's certainly terms that are used by members of the alpaca community. So if you have a different idea of what a fiber animal versus a pet animal means, I would love to hear what you have to think.